nobody today expected this result, right? Going into the day, we were still planning to record a podcast for which we came up with the perfect title, which was
Obits and pieces.
Obits and Rest in Pieces. Obits and Rest in Pieces, which would have been the last ever episode of Bits and Pieces. But we live to fight another day. I just want to say that as far as the common Indian man is concerned, this is the kind of day that we all live for. This is what our soldiers are fighting for in Pakistan and the border. And you don't know anything because you people are talking about all these things. You come and see how we do it. We take great pride in representing the country. And it's not like what you think. Yeah, thank you.
TV umpire to director, we have a player review. Can we rock and roll, please?
Hello and welcome to Bits and Pieces, the friendliest cricket podcast. This is the podcast that's like KL Rahul to Karun Nair, like Rob Key to Zach Crawley, like Grey London Skies to Gautam Gambhir's demeanor. This is the podcast that's like Mohammed Siraj. We may not be the most skilled podcast out there. We frequently overstep the boundaries and concede sixers. But we turn up more often than not. And when we are in rhythm, there's nothing better than Bits and Pieces or Siraj. I am Tony, and joining me is a man who is dressed so sharply at all times that he distracts Ravindra Jadeja, who then requests him to wear a grey t-shirt on top. The top cat of Bits and Pieces, Tariq, the most effectual Tariq, whose intellectual close friends like to call him Broti, providing it's with dignity. He's the most tip-top Broti. Say hi, Broti.
Hi, bro. Thanks for that intro, Tony.
Also joining us, the last time I saw him, he was struggling with his fourth beer at Beer Club. The man who admits his vice is not alcohol, it is selecting teams for no reason at all. The self-proclaimed selection committee member who warms the bench in the gym while Karun Nair does bench presses. Say hi, PGK.
Hello. Can I just say that you should first start with an admission of what this podcast episode was supposed to be last night. We had already prepared the last podcast episode of Bits and Pieces, but clearly here to cut it.
Yeah, never write us off. Also joining us all the way from London. They say some people create magic wherever they go. Some others create magic whenever they go. India would have won the series comfortably if not for this man's presence at various stadiums. The human equivalent of Mohammed Siraj setting a field for a bouncer only to spear in a Yorker. The man who puts the "it goes without saying" in "it goes without saying." Say hi, Bissy.
Hello, thank you. You're all welcome for a great series.
To be fair, I think apart from Oval, I was also there at the other venues. So.
And also joining us all the way from MPTC, there is no better person you'd consult if you wanted to waste time, so no real action happens. The man who created a record for the most number of voice notes collectively ignored on a WhatsApp group. But who can blame him for turning out this way? After all, his dad supports England. Say hi, Max Da Vinci.
What a glorious day, guys. Happy to be on the pod.
And also apparently joining us for a quickie, the man who skipped his own wedding reception to watch Stuart Broad annihilate India. And here he is with us in the middle of yet another North Indian wedding, all the way from the Pink City, the very rare man with the pink center. Say hi, Nitin Sundar.
Thank you. But as usual, Tony, all your facts are wrong. Stuart Broad was in the process of not destroying India, but winning the 2009 Ashes for England against Australia. You don't remember any prior Ashes, is it? This must be a chronic problem with you.
What a special day that Nitin remembers some game
that is
from the
joke,
past accurately.
It's a communicable disease. You spend more time with the same guys.
Basically, what you don't know about Nitin is he marks the passage of time based on what cricket match was going on. So if ever he's in a bind to remember when his wedding anniversary is, he's like, oh, when was that day when Stuart Broad was winning 2009 Ashes? That day only I have to get, not flowers, because you don't like flowers, but something for Shruti.
It was a glorious day of celeb appeals, is all I can say. But today I'm not in Jaipur. I'm not in Jaipur anymore. I drove down from Jaipur to Noida, and this is from my sister-in-law's house in Noida that I have dialed into this podcast. After having enjoyed the last hour, the 25th day of this glorious series, sitting in a taxi on the highway between Jaipur and Delhi. Yeah, glory be, internet rocks. What a series.
Noida is like that tagline, no? Owners envy neighbors' pride. Like, who the fuck is proud of being in Noida? Right? Like, why are you flaunting
Noida
this?
is like Noida is like Gautam Gambhir, right? Like picking 11 with absolutely no idea, but somehow things are better than all the other alternatives. So which are basically Delhi and Gurgaon. So there you go.
Okay, this is thankfully not leftover lasagna. Guys, we are recording just a couple of hours after India have pulled off a sensational. Like, what has this series been? This series has basically been that anhoni ko honi kar de, honi ko anhoni, right? Like, I feel like bookmakers have lost a lot of money because every improbable scenario has played out. I don't know about you guys, but I had no hopes of India winning when we went in this morning. But it has happened,
But enough,
and gloriously.
But enough
we
about
ended the
enough
series
about
2-2.
2022 BGT. Da. Why are you suddenly not talking about it?
I feel like the way to think about it is like 2021 BGT happens, and after that it is this 2.5 years of Rahu Kalab with everything
Hey.
that can go wrong with Indian Test cricket goes wrong at all the
England
time.
series
moments, and
happened after that. 2022 England happened after that.
that's what I'm saying. All of that was
It
like,
went wrong. Da.
it went wrong. It ended wrong, and then after that, it all comes back today, where the universe is like, okay, fine, take it, my friends. Let's balance it out. Shubman Gill is still not winning the toss, but finally some balance has come back.
New Balance.
Yeah.
A semblance of some balance. Before we proceed, right, I just want to say, see, PGK said everything went wrong in England the last time. That series also ended 2-all, right? And this series also has ended 2-all. But the reactions of the panelists, the esteemed panelists, is very different these two times. Which is
Fair point.
Yeah.
No, I think just to add to PGK's point here, that even in this series, a lot of things went wrong. Like there was absolute chaos throughout the series with injuries, obviously man-made chaos also, or we should say Gautam Gambhir made chaos of picking the sides, not based on combinations, but based on permutations. Because keeping all possible like orders of batting in mind and things like that. Despite all of that, for the series to throw up 4 results, and I mean, bar probably that outstanding rear guard in Manchester, 5 results is quite something. Because even with the pitches, the weather, the most amazing thing for me is that we lost very little play because of the English weather this entire series. Like 25 days of cricket and hardly anything lost because of the English weather is quite incredible.
Yeah, it's been an incredible series. Actually, I said we were like Mohammed Siraj, but we were like Jasprit Bumrah. We've done only 3 episodes during this 5-match series because fuck it, like what the hell has been going on? Like
Workload
many of
management.
these.
At least Jasprit gave you the announcement before the series, unlike us. We kept the suspense going.
So, guys, reactions. Like let's start with today. Like I don't know about you guys, but I definitely didn't think India were pulling this off. Forget 301 for 3, right? Even like what were they? 5-6 wickets down, 5 wickets down. It felt like a tall order. 6 wickets down, no? Yeah. Thoughts? How did we do this? How it happened?
As this was the typical kind of day where an Indian cricket fan wakes up and says, okay, I'll watch, but this is probably anyway going to end in about 20 minutes or something. And I don't want to not be watching in case, the improbable thing happens. And you've seen that script play out so many times, right? Where you will tune in anyway, and then in 20 minutes, you'll be, yeah, okay, fuck, yeah. Anyway, lost, yeah, good, glad these guys fought well. Young team, you should have selected that guy, this guy, whatever. Everything went the other way today because usually when games like this end, right, either this would have been, they would have finished it off in 20 minutes with Jamie Smith and the other guy, like just going after the bowling before the new ball. Or the other way these games usually end is where it comes down very much as it did. And then in the last minute, India actually ends up losing by, 1 wicket. Similar to what happened in the Lord's Test where Mohammed Siraj gets out after that huge rear guard that lasted for an entire day, right? And then after that, people start playing back all the small things that went wrong, which contributed to that end defeat, right? There were 2 catches that were, dropped / palmed over for 6s. But in a game that is so tight, more than the fact that they were catches that were not completed, the fact that they contributed 12 runs to the chase also becomes really significant. There was Dhruv Jurel missing that run out, right? Didn't have the presence of mind to have removed his glove. People invoking MS Dhoni out of nowhere. And that ball missing the stumps by like a very, very small distance. Suddenly, Prasidh Krishna not knowing what line and length to bowl when Chris Woakes is at the non-striker's end when you're trying to try and get him on strike because that's the right thing to do. Maybe if the number 11 was actually not, like invalid, India might have bowled better to Gus Atkinson in those last 2 or 3 overs than they actually did. All these small errors generally add up, and you end up pointing your fingers at them when the defeat comes to try and rationalize or to just to deal with the emotional cope of putting up with the defeat, right? Today it just felt like India somehow got that cheat code where they did almost everything right. They made 2 or 3 mistakes which usually would have cost them big time, and for some reason it was like somebody was looking down upon Mohammed Siraj and the team and saying, you know what, today you guys have this, it's fine. We'll not go to script as we normally do, just take this. And it just felt like poetic and definitely deserved in that sense, at least for Mohammed Siraj, who was been through. I mean, just think about it. Like 2 weeks back, the Lord's Test ended the way it did, and now this ends the way it does. In the middle of that, there was the catch and everything that's going on. It's Test cricket, man.
Yeah, amazing script. I mean, today was one of those days where you went, right? Like, and Bissy and I accidentally got on a voice call and we couldn't hang up because wickets kept falling, and we were like, "Fuck! Now we have to keep this going," right? Like,
and guess
today was
guess who had to silently sit with my 5-second whatever I was ahead of him. So he's watching, poor fellow, and he's like grudgingly listening to me. He's watching live on TV, and I'm about 5 seconds ahead of him, and he's like, yeah, okay, say, no problem, it's okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Today
you
no
were 5
problem
seconds
with
ahead
that.
of him on TV as
On
opposed
TV,
to stadium
yeah.
today.
So we were on voice call, and
But his broadcast was ahead because he's closer to the stadium. Just trying to understand the science.
Bhagwan.
Yeah. Okay, get in, Max. Come on, tell us.
Oh man, सिराज मियां क्या तो भी दिल है मैं चिंदिया लगा लिया. Like it is like fabulous to watch Siraj. Like, and this is what I was saying, right? At the four test, I was saying the only players who play the four tests were Stokes, Woakes, Cars, and Siraj. And then to come fifth, two of them drop off. It's only Woakes and Siraj, and Woakes also drops off. Siraj is the only one that's going all 25 games. And it's like, man, lion heart. And this is a thing, right? We've seen this even in Australia. It's like when Bumrah is not there, guy just like switches on to a different gear as well. It's like it's almost like sometimes I feel like when Bumrah is there, some of these guys get complacent or something. I don't know what, because he was completely in a different gear. He was like a man possessed. He was grabbing the ball from Gill, and he was just going to his mark. He was just bowling again. And even Gill, like to Prasidh and all, he was going and telling him, do this to this. Siraj was like, don't know. He was like Kimi Raikkonen and was saying, don't mess with me. I know what to do, kind of thing, right? This is how Siraj was. He was just on a different plane, just bowling in and out. And even in the post match, he said, right, he down on his phone, he had a wallpaper saying believe. He kept staring at it, and he's like, no, I have belief in myself. And so for someone who's made the famous comment of, I believe in Jassi Bhai, this is time to say, I believe in DSP. And in DSP, we all believe today. Because even like yesterday, my dad called me up. It was just I was going to sleep, and he's like, what do you think is going to happen? Like 35 runs. And I could see in his voice, the sparkle was in his voice, and he was like, he was just wanting me to, because he knew it was 11 o'clock. I was going to sleep. I put the alarm for 5 o'clock in the morning. And he was like, there's only one way this test can end. Either Siraj finds some magic, or this is done in like 5-6 overs. And glad again, I haven't called. I'm waiting for this to finish, and I need to go call him again. But yeah, Siraj. Like these are the times when even like when Bharat Arun initially spoke about Siraj, he said, right, this guy would show up at the nets and like merko do, and that thing continues, and you don't see that with anyone else. Like that fire, that hunger, chanceless guy, man.
I was with Tony on this, that the day started, I was kind of rationalizing that, they will use the heavy roller. Maybe there might not be that much of movement around. Maybe England have composed themselves. Honestly, yesterday when the first rain delay happened, that's when I thought that India might actually have a chance, because I thought that rain delay might create enough of a disruption. It did. But I kind of wanted it to end yesterday. which it did not, just because it had to. So BC will relate to this. I was thinking of all the people who had come like from the Midlands and North on the trains. I was like, okay, they would not want to travel again on Monday, I think. But other than that, once we got to today morning, I think I'm mentioning to somebody that unless Siraj like produces 2 unplayable deliveries early on and we get a couple of wickets, I don't see how this is happening, because these are too few runs and these guys might just like swat their way out of trouble.
Yeah, and the day started with Prasidh Krishna bowling 2 very playable deliveries,
yeah.
which were promptly dispatched for 4. 8 runs of 4 balls.
Yeah, so Siraj's second unplayable, or the first unplayable delivery was, I think, the one to Jamie Smith. And then, of course, the second delivery was unplayable because there was a certain unplayable Kumar Dharmasena deciding that's the umpire's call on one that jacked back like really sharply. I think that was a big umpire's call. That also changed the complexion quite a bit. But having said that, I think there's a different level of thrill to watching this. I remember the Lord's Test of 2021, and we were similarly in the office. Colleagues of mine were watching. Today, actually, we were running a meeting when this was going on. And you should have seen everybody trying incredibly hard to keep straight faces during the meeting with a little phone playing the match in between. But that's the point, that by then you obviously definitely believed that this could happen. And I think to put some Gautam Gambhir bombast to this, I guess Siraj made 1.4 billion people believe along with him. It's just the sheer will that made this happen.
Yeah. No, but I mean, the cool thing about the series is everyone pitched in, right? And I think when England were 301 for 3 or whatever yesterday, it was Prasidh Krishna who got Brook, Root, and generational Jacob Bethel, right? All 3 of them.
His setup today, boss. The setup.
Oh, sure.
You just
fine,
talk
you're
about
calling it.
You have to
We'll
play
have
this
to talk
back,
about that, I
then
agree.
over back at again and again. Like that setup.
He's
To Josh Tongue.
But anyway, yeah. But I'll talk about me. So yesterday I actually watched it for a bit. Then I stopped. And then first thing I stopped was the WhatsApp group that we were all a part of, because I know Bissy is there. And I know that I cannot watch a game and look at the WhatsApp group knowing that Bissy will say some nonsense. So I said, no, he's anyway on a lead. I'm not looking at the WhatsApp group only. I'm going to sit and watch in Zen mode. And I watched in Zen mode and they kept smashing. Then I stopped watching. Then I said, screw it. And I went. But one person who has become, like I said this before, has become very invested in this test series is my wife, who normally doesn't care much about tests. But she was watching she's been watching all the tests. But the one that really broke her heart was the Siraj Lord's test. And after that, she's been like much more involved in it. So I stopped watching. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing this. I also went into Zen mode. It doesn't matter in life. That's basically like, who cares about all these things? Sports is all sports. It's all fine. What matters is our life. It's a young team. All the rationalizations.
Take up baking.
Then I went up. Take up baking. All of that I was thinking. I was saying, oh, let's plan my week. Let's do this thing. Tomorrow, let's go to gym. Everything I had planned. Everything done. And then I go up and my wife is like, what's happening with the match? I said, they're losing. She's like, really? What happened? I said, no, they're door smashing. It's gone. Then she comes down. She's like, let me see. I'm like, why? Then she switches on the TV. Correctly, when she switches it on, that is when Harry Brook is just out. And I'm like, oh, they've lost a wicket now. And I'm like, but still, Root is still batting. They only need like 60 runs. It's not that hard. Then we're watching for a bit. Then they lose another one. Then I'm like, okay, this is getting interesting. So then I slowly don't say anything. I sit quietly and I'm watching. And of course, then we know the rain delays. And then, of course, at the end of it, I say, she's like, is this good, bad? I said, no, now it's bad because tomorrow it will be sunny again. Usual shit. It's going to be sunny. Nothing is going to happen. They're going to lose. And Nitin is correct. This script I've seen a million times. You come in the morning thinking something. Blazing sun, 4 or 5 shots, game over, one fine leg tickle, it'll be done. So I said, okay, this is going to be over. So I actually watched with very little hopes at 3:30. I just sit down and like, okay, let's see. Then I saw the Prasidh Krishna 4s. I'm like, this is over. This is done. But then, of course,
this is perfect because Hank has been telling us to send positive vibes. Okay, yes. So what happened while Bissy and I were on call was that Bissy's wife was asking about Chris Woakes. Bissy.
Yeah. Wait. So she's like, why is this guy coming out so heavily, padded up? It looks very weird and it's not that cold also, apparently. What is
9 months
wrong with
pregnant.
it? I'm like, I can't explain this to you. And
Same
then in any
question.
case, for me,
Yeah.
all the screaming and all. So since we're on the topic of wives, I obviously got a nice putt on my head for screaming so loudly during her meeting because she was in the same room. And then she had to be sent away to the other room. So yeah, we all played our parts.
So when Chris Woakes came out to bat, like I said, we were watching this game in a taxi on my phone. Of course, we have seen, at least I've seen videos of Malcolm Marshall coming out with his hand in a sling, right, and batting with one hand and also smashing a few boundaries, if I remember right. We've never seen this what Woakes did, which is he's worn a jumper over his heavily bandaged and strapped arm. And my wife asked, like, why is he wearing a sweater on top of it? Why is he trying to hide his hand? That sweater or jumper is not going to provide any protection. I also thought about it for a moment and said, well, it's actually cold. Everybody's wearing a jumper. So he anyway had to wear. And this is the only way he can wear a jumper. He can't put that hand in. My wife then asked a question, why doesn't he wear a cardigan instead? I was like, what on earth is a cardigan? It's a cardigan. It's a jumper with buttons.
Because
down
it's
the
not
middle.
Wimbledon. Okay, it's a different game.
He can. So my logical answer was he can still only wear whatever uniform is provided to him, and they don't provide cardigans in cricket. Oh man, I don't think Woakes was in any position to face a single ball. Right? I think the plan
He
was
was
that
barely
he will
able
hide
to
the
run.
non-strikers. And if
He was
if he
wincing.
had to face a full over, I think he would have said, "Sorry, I'm retiring out" or whatever, right? Because I think that is what it was. And I think India knew that too. I think they could see him and realize it, and I think they got over eager to try and get him on strike, and in the process could
So
not manage
the
to get him on
plan
strike.
was he was going to bat, Max tell us, he was going to bat left-handed with one hand.
Yeah,
Is it?
apparently in the nets, in the indoor nets, he was trying to play this whole thing and all that.
No, his right hand was the one. Just one sec. His left hand was the one
Left
that
hand.
was swung up. So
Correct.
he would have faced up like a left-hander, but holding it just with the top hand,
Correct.
which is his
Yeah.
right hand. in
Correct.
this
Correct.
case. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So which is not, by the way, what Malcolm Marshall did. Malcolm Marshall actually played like tennis, right? He was playing forehand.
Correct.
This guy's plan on the other hand was to play backhand. Yeah.
yeah, just kind of bunt it and see if they can do something.
technicality, Shivaji. Thank you.
I really wanted to see him face a ball, not with any gory intention, but just want to see what his plan was.
But I'm really happy it didn't. I'm really happy that we didn't get that wicket because
Correct.
again they would have come in the press con with that nonsense. So now it's like
This is how
it's
you
gone.
want to draw the series.
Is this how you want to draw the series?
Take my slung hand.
Directly written.
No.
No, I
Also
think this is where we say 100% agree with you, PGK.
Yeah, always. Now even Milan says that. So yes.
Also, the thing with Prasidh, right? That last ball, and these Atkinson and Woakes are talking about stealing the bye and all that. And Prasidh goes and talks to the umpire, and he's like, I'm going to, monkey him and all that. And then that's why that ball was also that, because he's coming, looking, expecting that
plan
Woakes is
bol
going to
diya.
be out. Yeah, he was expecting Woakes is going to be out. Woakes is still in his crease. I have to now ball, and that's why he ends up, like straight to the wicket. It's not like we went wide or something. But
Okay.
play
Look,
just
Prasidh is all obvious. He's
Max
like,
and
I
me
will
on the
tell you
same
what I want to
podcast
do.
talking about monketing
Yeah.
incident involving number 11 batsman. Where have we seen this before?
Prasidh did the same thing with Josh Tongue also. Josh Tongue thing. So Josh Tongue, yeah. So Josh Tongue is like hanging back in his crease, defending very well. Prasidh is bowling something at 5th or 6th stump and he's missing. So all is good. Last ball of I don't think it's last ball, but whatever. Next ball, he's like full discussion.
No,
with
it was the
Gill.
last ball.
Was the
It
last
was
ball?
the last ball.
Oh, okay.
It was the last.
Full discussion with Gill he has, and then he's like send this guy back. I think it was telling fine leg to go back, and he's making some ishara like this, like I will mostly go for the bouncer. I don't know. Obvious.
Sorry, it was the last ball because after that when Woakes come, that's why Woakes doesn't get strike.
That's
why they
correct,
switch.
correct.
So it was the last.
It
ball.
was the last ball. So all this he does, it is like so
Which is,
obvious.
This is,
like,
this is what like Ankush said is a triple bluff, right? It's like full. This guy's like, now what do I expect?
now Josh Tongue doesn't know what is going to happen, so he's like still hanging
Wobble
back.
same only, like Prasidh only. It's like
How
I am
will
going to bowl
how
bounce.
will you know what to face when
but
I
this-
only don't know what I'm going to ball? Okay, so like that.
Yeah.
But this is also
but the
how they
best
got
part
Zach
was,
Crawley out, no? At the end of
exactly,
Zach Crawley at the end of day 3 was very similar, where they set the leg trap and then he bowls a beautiful yorker. So yeah, it's always great.
I mean,
to
that
see
was
these,
another
bowling
brilliant
plans come
moment, right? Because Zach Crawley had a sly smile on his face because he was very nicely time wasting, asking Siraj to stop and all that.
Correct.
And it was like 50 for no loss, right? It was again like a precarious position. But the obvious plan.
No, 1 second.
seems
Sorry.
like-
I want to ask one question about what was Kumar Dharmasena seeing in the morning? Like, he was where was he looking at that particular time? He like, hold on. I'm like, what? Hold on. It is out.
This is the caught behind
Caught
that
behind
you're talking about.
of Jamie Smith.
Yeah.
Like, hold on for
I think
what?
I think these are the kind of games where everyone is kind of on tenterhooks. You don't ask why did the umpires not get involved when Gill was taking so much time setting his field. I think the 25th day of a 5-test series, I think everyone is like, let's take a breath, let's take a moment. I don't want to make a mistake here, right? And that's what given a very obvious caught behind. Hang on, let me check.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Even
it was
if Gill
shin
is
height.
taking
It was
time
not
to-
close to ground. It was shin height. And he was like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
It was very clean.
No, I think
This
he
is
was
not
like,
take a
because he
chance.
rolled over, he wanted to make sure he didn't ground it. But why would the keeper
but
ground
on the
it?
replay, it was very obvious that
Yes,
he had kept
obviously.
that hand up. But
No, nobody say a word about Dharmasena. Nobody. I will not tolerate it. Okay.
I agree.
He
I agree.
gave that LBW. That LBW was everything. All right. No one says a word about Dharmasena from now on. He can do
Hasan
whatever he
Raza,
wants.
man. After
If
that.
I
Yeah,
was
he
KL
also
Rahul-
tried to match.
Yeah,
No,
if I
he's
was
like-
like, I will go. I will meet Dharmasena. I will discuss that. You tell me that. Whatever you want to say, you tell that. I will apologize. I'll write letters. Whatever you want to say, you say. I'm sorry. We won't say anything.
Hasan Raza also.
Appealing game was really good today, by the way. Yeah, India's appealing game was spot on today. Like the way they appealed for
Appealing
not
game.
that way. Appealing, you have to be on the ball, man. Like the appealing was crazy good today. Like
It was an appeal task for India.
it was.
This one. No, but can we just flip the lens for a second? If India were in England's position and we had lost this match after being 301 for 3, man,
Yes,
we
even
would have
after
had
so
a
many
very
times.
different podcast.
We would not have recorded. Hello. We would not have recorded.
So the segue here is, has Gautam Gambhir done it? Like made believers out of non-believers with whatever strategy he was going for.
Okay,
Come
this
on.
is a good time to bring our 7th panelist in. Okay, Mr. Varun Murli, who's sitting there silently.
This series we drew 2-2 only because of Gautam Gambhir. Like if he had done
this
all
is
this
why.
4-bowler, 5-bowler shit nonsense, he would have lost this series 5-0 basically. We have all been saying like what a great strategy, picking up 20 wickets in every game and stuff like that. Taken like 4-0, 5-0 serious loss and like sat on our life. It would have ended up in getting that poor fellow sacked basically. Amazing strategy, like totally like transformed Indian cricket with his thinking. Okay, bye.
See, this is it. They are going to get the wrong lessons from this. From now on, they are going to play fucking 4 bowlers and out of which 3 pacers, and they'll make Siraj and Prasidh bolt themselves to the ground. They're going to do this now. It's
No,
so
that's the good
annoying.
thing, right? So apparently the next away test series in any reasonable conditions is only in December 2026. There's enough time there. Like Bumrah will probably
Bumrah
be
can also recover.
done.
Okay, so it's fine.
Not done. Jadeja is done by then, for sure. No way Jadeja is still playing test cricket in December 2026.
This we've been saying for the last several years now.
Yeah.
No, but usually everybody says it and I'll be like, why he's very fit, he'll play. But now even I'm saying I don't think it's possible. It's like physically not possible. He's in his best batting form of life, but still, it doesn't make sense. By then, I think India will have other plans. But since we are talking about Gautam Gambhir, I just want to say that as far as the common Indian man is concerned, this is the kind of day that we all live for. This is what our soldiers are fighting for in Pakistan in the border. And you don't know anything because you people are talking about all these things. You come and see how we do it. We take great pride in representing the country. And it's not like what you think. Yeah, thank you.
It is not my team. It's not my team. It is the team of every 1.5 billion people.
1.4 billion.
It is the team of 1.6 billion common men and women.
Yeah.
You are just a common journalist. Keep quiet. Do your job. Stay on the side. Don't talk to me.
Normally, I don't like to
there's
talk
so
about
much to
individual.
cover.
Normally I don't like to talk about individual performance. But let me talk about the individual performance of this person for 5 minutes. Let us do that.
Usually, I've
No,
seen many
Fortis.
groundsmen in my careers. In my career, I've seen many groundsmen. The groundsman is not named after the ground. This is the first time I'm seeing a groundsman who's named after the ground whose ground he's manning. Thank you. He's an oval groundsman.
The face. So the last time we recorded a podcast was after the third test, right? And at that point in time, you felt like all the wind had gone out of the sails, especially in the fourth test when they piled on all of those runs, right? And we were all saying, everyone looks clueless. What is happening? That, this, and the other. And then obviously
0 for 2.
to turn, 0 for 2. To turn it around from there, guys, I think it's like incredible.
No, it is. But my theory is that, so like Vamu mentioned about Gautam Gambhir making all these combinations somehow work and making it happen. He treats it like a Dungeons and Dragons game. I think like he's the dungeon master who's just like making stuff up as it goes along. And then at the end of it, he's like, oh, great campaign, amazing campaign, because he like did all of this. Because I think, again, the one key aspect is that with the oval test, I think we'll always have to talk about the fact that so many other things happen. So the injuries, luck, things like that, which might make us look at it in a slightly different perspective, which is kind of my worry. Like PGK says that maybe again take the wrong lessons out of this and continue building on the same line. That's my only concern here.
By luck, you
No,
mean
so
Chris
basically,
Woakes is
Vamu's
injured.
point is that two things, right? One is that you don't have the bench strength to play so many bowlers. Secondly, the only realistic choice here is between Kuldeep and Washington, right? And he's come out trumps in his trust of Washington, who basically dominated Game 4 and Game 5, right? And put in a performance for the ages. So, I mean, basically, you're saying now if you go back to India, do you make pitches like the ones you did against New Zealand? Please don't. Make flatties. No, it's okay. Like you will have Akshar Patel, you will have Jadeja, you will have Washington Sundar, 3 spinners to bowl all day.
There also
And,
you won't pick Kuldeep
Kel-
Yadav. Brilliant.
Oh, yo, power. Okay.
You thought Ashwin was done dirty. You ain't seen nothing yet.
I know.
Guys,
Hey,
in
this is
India,
all
we
fine.
have a new ball bowler. He is Nitish Kumar Reddy.
This is what I
Okay.
meant by the
Saurav
wrong
Ganguly
lessons.
bowling against
This is
इसको
the wrong
कोई
lessons.
बंद
we
करो
forgot
यार.
an Anshul Kamboj. It's okay.
Yeah.
इनो आदमी है, पाजामा है, हजाम है, क्या है इनो? इसको बंद करो.
And
Dude,
now
we were
Chahal
absolutely
is bowling.
clueless, man.
Chahal is bowling, dude. Chahal is bowling in county.
Chehel.
Yes.
No.
Chahal is
Have you
bowling
seen
in
the
county.
overs before? No. You are only seeing that 30-second reel on Instagram and saying, okay, go please see.
Huh.
On this thing, they were showing those games. Guy was getting swept and hit like anything. And then suddenly he says, oh, 4 balls, I've given 3 boundaries. Come, I'll bowl one around the wicket, and he gets a wicket. Kuch bhi nahi hai, guys.
This is the
Still,
problem. Even
in red ball
even
also,
the
guys'
Tams-
go-to is to bowl outside off stump. Wide outside off stump. In red ball also is his go-to thing. When I was getting hit, I'll bowl wide outside off stump. We are nicely taking him and hitting him off that. Kuch bhi nahi. This is like 3rd division English guys, dude. First of all, Palm is playing spin.
Srinath Tripath
Huh?
is the batsman.
Please.
Murli Sadkopur and Srinath Tripath.
Yeah,
But this is the sad thing. Even the Tams on this group are talking about who? Yuzvendra Chahal bowling spin.
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, our man Sai Kishore is taking a lot of wickets by the bucketful in the same county. So
At least Sai
nobody's
Kishore is
talking.
taking wickets. That also you don't want to talk. Some Yuzvendra Chahal, it seems.
Okay. Before we go there, guys, so do you think 2-2 is a fair result? India had many moments, but I think given the last 2 tests, 2-2 seems like a win, no? Seems like a good result.
Yeah, it's a good result. And I feel like if I were England and I was an England supporter, I'd be very worried. Because actually, even if it says 2-2, it could have very easily been 4-0 for
This was
India.
only warm-up for Ashes. That's okay.
Yeah. There is no way it could have
There
been a
is-
4-0 for England. It would have been a 4-0 for India. This is a very good scenario. It
There
would
is
have
no
ended up
England supporter
This
at the
is like-
ground who is worried, man. They're all drunk. So it doesn't matter to them what the outcome is. It's all good. It's all great.
there. Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, but going into
This is
the
the
series,
exact
right?
reverse.
No, but going to the series, no one had this. Everyone was like, okay, not 3-1 England or something like that, except for Tony, right? Except for Tony, who's
No.
like optimism ki,
Hello.
optimism ki mood thi
PGK
and all
and I
that.
were there. PGK
were
and
on
I
3.
think we had it 4-1 or 3-2 to England.
Yeah, we had 3-1,
So,
3-2 and all that. So because
yeah.
like Gill and all that. But so from there itself, this is a huge thing. The other one is that both sides have been pretty clueless, right? That if to take what what Zainab says on the group and all, it's pretty accurate. Both sides are very clueless. It's been these individual moments of brilliance every now and then that has turned the tide for every team. Like out of nowhere, Gill is like, Bencho, I will score double century and
No,
century.
I don't agree. Where has India been clueless? India's not been clueless. I mean,
Well, India's
Dude,
been,
they have gone with 2.5 bowlers, man, into the
I know.
series.
okay, fair.
What is
What
this?
do you mean
Fair.
they're not
That I
clueless?
agree. That I've always said was this thing.
You're going
Okay.
into a test, like you have a fight with the guy, right? You have a fight, you blow it up, and you're like, okay, you won't let me within 2.5 meters of the 2.5 meters nakomya. I am sitting in like thousands of meters away. I can also see it is green. Firbi, I'll like, no, I will take 3 guys and go. Bole to, like, what is this? Like
Fair. That I agree.
we have,
That was
but I think
clueless.
here's the thing, right?
No,
Everyone
but
was saying that maybe GG is like a poker player. They're going to say Bumrah will play 3 games, but he'll bluff and make him play one more game or something like that. And GG is like, no, I don't play poker. I just play Russian roulette. This is Russian roulette. I will just put some aag band karke Jai Mata ki. I'll put my number on 36, 36 will come. I'll put my number on double odds will come. That is how this whole series has gone.
No, I don't
And
agree with that. I because Gigi is predictable if not anything else. He's like, I will stack it up with all rounders. I will make my reliable bowlers bowl into the dust, and everybody else needs to bat and make 20-30, 20-30. On an average, we should reach 400 at the end of it. That is the consistent setup that he is trying to send across in every test match. He's
there is
very
a video of
predictable.
his from 2022 or something, right? Where he's saying like we will be able to bat people out of the game also and save a game on day 5 also. We'll always have batting till number 8. That's the kind of team we want to create, right? So in that sense, I mean, the
think-
results have.
Yeah. See, it's not like there are hundreds of options, right? Like after
Yeah.
this result, you will have again people. There are going to be people like Vamu will be like, oh, masterstroke from Gautam Gambhir, and there'll be others like me who will say, what kind of idiot goes in with 2.5 bowlers? But the reality is, if you go in with a squad that has Anshul Kamboj and even Prasidh Krishna, frankly, is far from a test quality bowler yet, right? I mean, you're making do. Akashdeep doesn't have the fitness to last a full test match. Forget 2 tests back to back. These are the fast bowlers you sent, right? And Gambhir is doing the best he can with them, right? He's playing Jadeja and Washington as
Shardul ko
batsmen
bhul gaya
because...
tu.
Shardul. I think it is a good thing we all collectively forget a few people.
That Gill also forgets after selecting him, so it's okay.
I mean, we said, this same kind of result we could have had in Australia if Kohli and Rohit had not batted. Like, we have not yet managed to find replacements for Kohli and Rohit, right? The 2 batsmen who were tried are both failures, Sai Sudarshan and Karun Nair. He is literally he brought Washington Sundar out of wilderness, right? He was not anywhere in the equation, and then he brought him in for the New Zealand series, and now he's playing him as a batsman, for which you should give him credit, right? And Jadeja also, at this stage in his life, Jadeja is not a bowler anymore, right? He'll give you a few changeover bowlers in Test cricket unless you give him an absolute turner, but he's batting better than he ever did. I think he bowled a couple of overs in the first innings when nobody was watching. I think it was
3 overs. Achha,
yeah,
okay.
for the bookies. Yeah, yeah. Jadeja bowled a couple of overs in the first innings. Yeah, but what you should give credit to Gambhir is with whatever he has been given, he has made something work. And the only thing I would point fingers at is Kuldeep Yadav not getting a game, right? And I definitely think Kuldeep would have come into this series. If it doesn't matter if the pitches are turning or not, if you're bowling left arm over the wicket, China man, these batsmen are going to struggle. You just have to.
And I think that has a lot to do with how Shubman Gill as a captain is. At least it's early days. I don't know. Maybe this is what I gauge on the basis of 5 games. He's very reluctant to go to spin. Like even Washington in the previous game at Manchester, he brought him on like after 1,000 overs, and that guy started immediately getting drift and turn and all that. But I don't think he reads or he
we
doesn't.
Also remember that.
He doesn't look at spin as an attacking
Gill has
option.
never captained, right?
True.
He has
First
never been a
series.
captain, right? This is pretty much his first
even
assignment.
IPL, he's not a
under 19
captain.
level, he was not the captain. Prithvi
No,
Shaw was the
IPL
captain,
also, he's not a
under 19
captain.
level.
Ashupa is standing at the boundary and doing everything, and he's like, okay, bhaiya jo bhi bol diya, main kar diya. So this is like
but
proper
as
first
we
series.
know, it's very easy to captain in Test cricket. Okay, T20 is very very hard. Remember, okay.
He will learn on the job for sure. But all of that is fine. But the real crisis, the crisis for India is there is no bowling pipeline, right? Like you can enjoy the 2-2 result, but reckon with the fact that there are no bowlers coming through. Right? Batting is all fine; they'll figure out batting, but there are no bowlers coming through, and that's a big concern if you're an Indian cricket fan.
Yeah. If Anshul Kamboj was your, number 6 option, then it's pretty bare.
Depth
Cupboard
would
is
guarantee.
Okay,
bare.
on that
Good
note,
shots.
we've spoken about Gigi giving Kuldeep the sack. Is this the Kuldeep sack for Jasprit Bumrah, guys? Like, where next for Jasprit Bumrah in Test cricket?
Okay, let me go first. I don't understand where this is coming from. I really don't. Okay, I genuinely don't understand.
These are Indian cricket fans, right? This only you
no,
will
but no, I'm saying he's like even in this series, even after playing 3 tests, he's like the third or fourth highest wicket taker. He's gotten like 14, 15 wickets.
13
He's
wickets, yeah.
13 wickets, and it's a great average. Okay, fine. Maybe he wasn't. He said upfront, "I'm not fit enough to play all tests. I'm going to play 3 tests." He played 3 tests. He played as well as he could, other than that one innings. Now suddenly people are like, "Oh, okay, now let's like Jasprit retire," as if you have like some fucking like exactly as Nittu said, you have some big stock of this thing you have found somewhere. Or where is this coming from? What is this?
if you are representing 1.6 billion
Yeah.
common men, you'll be ready to play through pain. You can't pick and choose the games that you play for your country. That's not how we do it.
And like Ben Stokes says, pain is just an emotion.
Only 2 matches India won, where the matches where Bumrah didn't play.
Fine, okay, that happens. It's all right. I mean, that's not like
and this is not me saying. People are saying that when Bumrah is there, in other bowlers tend to do worse. I don't know why.
Dude, India never won test matches when Tendulkar played, Raya. So,
Hey, okay, don't attack me.
I'm not attacking you.
No.
I'm
I just
attacking
think
the people who question 1.6 billion common men.
Sorry, Bumrah has 14 wickets, by the way, 4th highest wicket taker.
yeah, it's fine. It's okay. He'll come. He'll play well. He'll be very, very vital for us.
Broti, your take.
So my take on this whole Bumrah thing. Firstly, Tony went all कि आपके कमरे में कोई रहता है, हम नहीं कहते, जमाना कहता है. On the Bumrah take.
Not me, someone.
So my take on this is again, that's the nature of this series, the way it has been. That the 2-2 result both seems predictable as well as very random. Similarly, the fact that India won the tests, exactly the ones that Bumrah did not play, also seemed like relatively random. So there is enough to sort of pull together to kind of make this whole case saying, oh, maybe Bumrah is actually not necessary to the side at all. But the truth remains, like PGK says, that in terms of quality, obviously you don't have somebody who's at his level, even with the limited availability and fitness concerns and things like that.
You know what this is? Once again, I'll tell you what this is. It's like you have a perfect, partner, like either a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It's perfect in every possible way. It's amazing, way out of your league. It's great. And you just step out of the house. Some random person smiled at you. So you're like coming home and saying, get out of the house. Get lost from this house. Like, what?
The empirical research that has gone into this observation, we would like to understand. Is this why you're roaming around in Indiranagar to get coffee when it can be delivered to the Ken-off?
Oh, by the way, today in Indiranagar, people were actually cheering, dude. People were cheering when the test match got over. And my colleagues are looking at me. Yeah,
Modi
my colleagues
ji
are looking at me.
inaugurated
People
the
are
purple
shouting.
line,
I'm like, yes, it's
for
not
that,
RCB. RCB is not playing. People in Indiranagar are cheering. Oh, wow. Okay, nice.
JCB. That's what.
It is actually JCB. Modi ji inaugurated some metro line today. The cheering was for that.
Yeah. Some new line.
It is actually
No,
JCB.
But this Bumrah thing, I don't know why is there an issue. अरे पहले तो स्टोक्स ही, वोक्स ही, ब्रुक की, अरे इन लोगों का आदमी क्या औलाद है, कुत्ते के पिल्ले, इन लोगों के लिए बुमराह 5 मैच काय को खेलना, ऐसे नाम के कुत्ते भी नहीं पालतू मैं. Okay, bloody hell, played 3 games more than enough. Take it and go. Let these guys come. They will bowl and only will take them out. They will not even use Hazelwood and all. Also. Bowl and only will take them out. This is all what
Why are you
nonsense.
talking about Ashes now? Who cares?
Warm up, it seems, useless fellows. First to play one normal series. Till now, since whatever this
happened to
Bazball
this
nonsense,
fellow?
since this Bazball nonsense has started, bloody one single series also they've not won at home against India or Australia. Every time it is only draw. And
Actually,
they'll go overseas and get absolutely smashed. And then, we are Bazball, we are saving cricket, entertainment ka Jesus.
No.
Max,
Actually,
if you say all this now, what will you say when you call your dad?
yeah.
This is
No,
preparation for all
actually,
of that.
we should spend
Okay,
10 minutes
I should-
talking about England, because
Yeah.
one observation that I have is
So-
this series is the first series where they have not played Bazball. It's like the way they have done earlier.
Except for the
Then-
first test, yeah. Actually, they have
Brook
played
played,
no,
no,
into
second.
Bazball, right? Even in the first innings, the way Crawley and Duckett started was that is as Bazball as
And-
Bazball.
No, I
but-
think only
they've been
Lord
selected.
They
They're not-
completely
they're not-
floated
Let's
in the
not
second
forget they
innings.
chased down 370 already.
Even yesterday, I mean, the only reason
Yeah.
England have lost this match is because Harry Brook wanted to take a bus and go home early or something. He had just hit 2 boundaries. He was like, okay, I want to finish this in the next half an hour. Or some
Jacob
random-
Bethel, ra.
That basically that Brook wicket brought India back into the game, right? And Bethel, I think, a little undercooked coming
No,
into
I
the
think Bethel-
game because he's
Bethel
not
did the
played
best
much
thing.
cricket.
I think he showed a mirror to all of us about how our number 3 was batting. He like exemplified, took Sai Sudarshan school of batting and did exactly that same tatty over there. Exact. Like no intent to keep the ball out, no intent to score, no intent to rotate, just hang around.
Yeah.
Which was bad.
So, PGK, to your point, do you know objectively who won the series?
And yeah, and just to add to that before PGK goes, right? What Brook did, not just when he got out, even in that over where he was dropped by Siraj, right? Where Siraj steps into the boundary. The very next ball, he charges down the track and tries to smash it over the covers, right? And
Yeah.
the entire innings actually was, in a sense, Bazball only. Root and Brook were pretty much playing to whatever their philosophy was. It didn't work, is what I
Yeah.
would say. Yeah.
Okay, but tell who won the series objectively?
I mean, obviously the
Australia.
common man, but
Good, India. Here is the WTC table in all its glory, where India are
Oh,
ahead
2
of
points.
England
Two
by
points.
2
Dot.
points.
Yeah, there's 2 points. Dot,
Sri Lanka
right?
are playing the final, guys. Niyamai.
Okay, no, but
1 second. Guess why they are leading by 2 points. Sorry.
Oh,
points
because
Yes, for
overrate. 2
overrate.
points dot.
No,
I
but
can
first test,
imagine
right?
Gautam Gambhir sitting somewhere and saying, if I had played 4 pacers, okay, we would have also been, slow over rate. So it's all part of the plan. Nice.
No, so
Well played.
the one last thing on the Bumrah thing before you go to England is that in basketball, in the NBA at least, there is this thing called the Ewing theory, right? Wherein it is saying that
Patrick Ewing.
for the New York Knicks, right back in the day, is that when you have over reliance on a star player, your team performs a certain way, but when that star player sometimes is off color or injured or on the bench, the team collectively comes in because it's just like, okay, Kobe is not playing, okay, we got to do this, or LeBron's not playing, we have to do this, right? So this was one of the things in NBA they use it a lot, and I think that's what is
That
what we're
explains why India won the test matches which Shardul Thakur did not play.
And before PGK starts the England wala bit, I should add some context that at the test in Manchester, the stand we were sitting in, we were sitting with one guy who had come from Wisden, and in the hall there is like a huge Ben Stokes poster that is like hung on one side, and the other side says India versus England, like this match, whatever. So he was talking something about Ben Stokes, and he said, "Oh, he's been so terrific throughout the series." And I think he was coming on to bowl on that day, and then he turns towards the poster, and he like does this. I'm not kidding.
Oh boy.
entertainment
So-
Jesus.
Tell him.
Entertainment Jesus, not a joke.
Tell him.
So-
Come to Andhra Pradesh. We do this every day in theatre. So come.
So I'll let that context take
No,
us
I'm
into
just saying
PGK's.
that, because Tony showed WTC, I'm just hoping and praying that India somehow stumble their way into the WTC final. And then we can all meet in London. Haha. Okay. And we'll stay at Bussy's
Busy
house.
will still be there.
I'll bring handcuffs.
It's okay.
for
We'll,
Busy.
we'll stay at Bussy's house at Lockybid. And his wife will also be happy. He'll be like,
DSP
yes.
Siraj will arrest Busy. Rest of us can go for the match. You know why 2-2 is a fair result for India,
Why is it?
right? And leaving everything else aside, it is very unlikely Shubman Gill, and you can add more names to this, Shubman Gill, Mohammed Siraj, Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul, will individually have
Jaiswal.
Ravindra Jadeja as a batsman. Jaiswal maybe a little average, but still 200s. It is unlikely a lot of these guys will ever have a better series than this in their lives. And it would have been so unfair. it's, I mean, sometimes, like in the 90s, like Tendulkar in 99 in Australia had a superb series, but nobody else did, right? And the team got smashed. Lara in Sri Lanka, right? When he famously scored 600 runs against Muralitharan, had a fantastic series. But they lost 3-0 because it was just Lara. Shane won 2005 Ashes, 40 wickets. I think he also got more runs than anybody else for Australia in that
40,
series.
yeah?
He scored a lot of runs.
Yeah,
he got
I
40
took
runs
that.
in that Ashes, right?
40,
And they
40
lost
wickets,
that
you mean?
series.
40 wickets.
40 wickets.
Sorry, he got 40 wickets, and he also got a
Oh.
lot of runs. If I vaguely remember, he got more runs than any other Australian also.
Insane.
I might be wrong. But anyway, ended up on the losing side. It will happen that, if you have one big superstar performer or two big superstar performers, that's never going to be enough. In this series for India, you had like 5 superstar performers, literally. Sure, some of the others did not always pull their weight, or were, Bumrah came in and went out. Prasid did his bit here and there. Akashdeep came in and went out. But you also had guys like Shardul and,
Anshul,
Sai
Don't
come
Prasad,
forget
on.
Karun
Nitish
Nair,
Kumar Reddy.
and Nitish Reddy did his bit and all. It would have been really unfair for these 5 guys at least to have had career-defining series to come back with a 3-1 result, right? So I think it was just fair that, and you look at the 2 wins that India chalked up, right? The series is so close; it's 2-2. They had their biggest ever win, right? That second test which they won. I think they won by some 4,000 runs, and their narrowest ever win.
Nice.
And probably their narrowest ever loss as well, right? At Lords, which was that 22-run loss. So it's sometimes the margins.
You don't see it often, right? You have 5 batters scoring more than 400 runs in a series.
Yeah, and the
that
number of
doesn't
hundreds, the
happen.
number of
But that's
50s. Like
a
I've
very-
been looking at some of these Cricinfo stats pieces, right? Like India have never scored 350 plus in 8 innings or 9 innings in a series before. 8 innings, I think, is the number.
But these
They've never scored
wickets-
so many half centuries. They've never hit so many boundaries across a series. Right? The kind of
Yeah, it's
dominance,
like-
at least from the batting side,
It's
has
10,
been like
it's
phenomenal.
10 or 11 centuries across those 5 guys, right? 10 or 11
Yeah.
centuries.
Let's just be happy
squad.
that Anderson was forced into retirement, guys. Come on. It's not like the England bowling lineup was.
I think Anderson would have had any impact on these wickets. They were like dead.
Yeah, these were
Like
not
from
Anderson
the
pitches, right?
first day on Leeds, where I was at the stadium and people are like, yeah, they should be at least 50 for 4 and all by lunch or whatever. These guys held up their end of the game, man. And Yashasvi scoring 100 on that first day, followed by all these other guys chalking up the runs, showing the patience to just hang around and grind people down was amazing. And it was very good.
There is
but
some-
I don't
yeah,
think
there
they
is
would
some-
normally face such wickets if they turn up at
I'm saying
England.
there is also some alternate universe where Kohli this would have been Kohli's resurgence.
Star Sports, आप यहाँ?
Let's round it up. We started the series questioning Shubman Gill's captaincy. He's ended it scoring 754 runs, 75 average, and giving a amazing account of himself as captain. Right? I feel like this has been like if Shubman had a dream start to his captaincy career, this would have been it, right?
See,
Especially after.
here's how I see it. Okay, he was definitely a fantastic batter. There's no doubt about it. Captain, yes, but I also get a little worried how the 2 losses, or first loss, of course, was the huge chase. I think even this test, like I felt there were parts where when things are going against you, I'm not so sure. But he's also quite young, quite inexperienced. It'll get better. Right?
Yeah,
I think it's
I
also
think-
fine. See, it looks like a very united team, right? You have a lot of good senior heads around, right? Like KL Rahul, for instance, is very
fresh,
involved.
clean
KL
start.
Rahul.
Yeah.
When Rishabh Pant is there, he is always chipping in with something. Bumrah takes over. Mohammed Siraj takes over when in Bumrah's absence as kind of the bowling leader. So I think that's okay. I think as they play 2 or 3 series together, I think Gill will also ease into
No,
the ball.
I think one other aspect that probably went in Gill's favor or the favor of his development was also that he faced a lot of unique situations, not just from a captaincy strategy point of view, but also things where I think the heated exchange at Lords, a couple of off-field controversies, things like that, which came in, which are also things that kind of help shape maybe his perspective and like his decision making as a leader going forward. So I would also think that is something that he could not have otherwise. Like nobody would have asked for that at the beginning of the series, but it's great that it happened because I think he's emerged a better captain.
And I think in the first 2 tests, there was a lot of field setting being done, changes being done by the likes of KL and Rishabh. And this guy used to take a back seat standing at the slips. And you see that sort of going out of the window slowly as Rishabh gets injured. And even in this game, there is a lot more of him getting involved with making some of those tactical calls, at least as play is going on. I think that is what he was setting out to do at the beginning. He's like, you guys, if you think it's better, Karlo. But I think he's finding his voice and his footing as he's gotten deeper into the
No, and
series.
I think KL has been really good. He's not overstepped his boundaries and all that, and he's been fab. He's been this big brother kind of a guy, elder statesman, and he's played his role to absolute perfection. The name that name has a lot of weight in Indian cricket, and I think KL has just did a
Ask Kumar
fab job.
Dharmasena about it, man. How he got sledged by KL of all people.
But
PGK, in the first pod in this series, you said now we can support this team without any hang-ups. Looks like without any hang-ups, you turned into full uncles. Full-on analysis happened.
I know. I know.
So many
Ashwin
great
also
moments.
went
Why
off.
don't we
What a
round
flip,
it up
what a
with your favorite moment from this series, which either riled you up or brought a smile to your face?
Ooh, okay.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yes, please.
And I will flash the was there at the venue privilege card. It was KL getting that 100 in the second innings at Leeds, because I think he was playing like a dream during that second innings. I have not seen him play as well anywhere else. I was like genuinely tremendously happy, and we were in the member stand, and I was screaming and shouting when nobody else was, which again I wear as a badge of honor. That I've done this in almost all the venues where I've gone and screamed at either Rishabh Pant or one of the batters. But singularly memorable moment, I think that KL 100 personally for me was super memorable. Really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, mine is actually very simple. Mine was test number 4 when they are batting to get the draw, and
shake
at
hands.
some point in time they basically say let's shake hands. And I think there's also a cultural thing right here, because that's like that particular moment was like a lot of things happened where England were like didn't understand it. It's an inversion of the whole Mankading situation, where from England standpoint it's like you can never do this against spirit of cricket. In their head it's also this is also spirit of cricket. What is this obsession with individual centuries? And India is like, and every Indian is like, of course they will go for their centuries. What's wrong with you? And it's perfect, it's great, let's keep batting. Of course they'll get their centuries. But the reason I enjoyed it the most was because, again, cultural moment. India is like, this is what we want, we're going to do this. England is like, I don't understand why you're not doing this. Shake hands. And I watched it, that moment, with friends. Okay. And I had Tony, and I had Nitin, and I had PDP, and we were all there at
So where were the friends there?
Well done. Okay. We were at this bar
in another
Kormangla.
life, his friend would have been Lekha Washington Sundar.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, we were at this bar in
that moment
Kormangla
is-
on a big screen, and we went to the front of it and we started watching. And
And that moment is
random people
emblazoned in
came.
my mind precisely because of that line. Because when Washington Sundar got his 100, before we went to that place, we were of course having drinks at my brother's house, Mithun Sundar. And there was a chair in my brother's house which is designed by Lekha Washington, who happens to be Mithun's friend. Right.
Yeah.
And when Washington Sundar got to his 100, Tony suddenly has a light bulb moment and says, "Oh wow, in another life, she could have been Lekha Washington Sundar." And this entire series for me is about remembering moments, because I think I mentioned this on the group sometime back. I have been traveling for the last few days. So I saw the first test, India losing the unlosable test in Dubai. And then I was in Montenegro scaling a really high mountain when India won the second test with my son. And me and my son were in Albania watching at a cafe on a very, very dodgy internet connection when Jadeja thought, he can take singles for like 348 overs continuously, retain strike and win that test match, and then eventually ending up in defeat. We were in Bangalore when we, of course, watched Washington Sundar and Jadeja bat through and save that test match together with you guys. And here I am in Jaipur and Noida, and on the way between Jaipur and Noida, where I watched this fifth test as it panned out. In fact, I'd given up on this test when England were 110 for no loss or something, right, in the first innings in 15 overs. That was this test match, by the way. It feels like it happened a long time back. At which point it was like, guys, what happened? We thought the ball was going to swing. The match is over. And then from there, India coming back and winning this test. So this series and cricket really is about, bookmarking moments in my life for me. I think it's the biggest advantage of watching cricket is that I remember things from my life based on what cricket match is going on. And the series is full of those moments, which I'm never going to forget. Yeah, thanks to you guys.
Waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning and watching cricket is the best thing, guys. It is the best
Start
thing
to
in the
time
world.
zone into time zone.
Loved it. No, loved every moment of this. And even like, coming into work, watching it here, and then till 2 in the afternoon, then getting 3 hours of work done before I go home is this is 25 days, man. This is just so awesome. Everything like those twin hundreds by Rishabh in that first test, and then Gill going absolute bonkers in Edgbaston. The Jadeja trying to do whatever he could in a just which we had no business even staying in the game for that long. And then those again, Jadeja and Washi, like the resurgence of Washi was something that okay, we saw him do something in New Zealand, but we never thought he was going to be this much of a
Yeah.
force. It's just, and then Siraj in this last, and he's been so fabulous. All these individual performances, but again, every time it's been a different person, right? Jaiswal got a couple of hundreds. Jadeja was there. Gill was there, and so like you can say the team is in good shape. Jad probably like a year away, and at most, maybe this home series might be his thing. We don't know, but the rest of the team is good. I think the only thing is they need a good set of fast bowlers. Because Akshar, Kuldeep, all they take care of the home series, but I think they need a good set of fast bowlers. Otherwise, this team is looking. It's good. It's good to support because we always thought right now without Ashwin, Kohli, and Rohit in that order, what would happen to us? But yeah, good things have happened. And again, anytime you get to see Potty Face, you get to see Ben Stokes smirk and like not have that stupid smile on his face. It is a glorious time. You can bookmark that, you can keep that, you can watch that again and again. And like that wicket of Josh Tongue, and then they show Ben Stokes' face. It was so lovely. That was the best thing in the morning to watch. Like I wake up just for those moments, man.
I'll just go with my favorite moment first because no one's mentioned it. Was probably Pant coming out to bat with that fractured foot, right? And it's very easy to forget Pant, man. But like, what a absolute stud! Like when they were going for the captaincy roles, I didn't think Pant qualified, but what a performance! What a man! What a heart! And just coming out, right? Coming down to walk with that broken foot, next level. Too good.
On that note, right, this series was about redemption, right? Like everything ultimately hinged on that final very thin margin that made it 2-2 instead of 3-1. What that also did, and it's a repeating theme, which you mentioned, Rishabh Pant, right? Like for me, the one flashpoint of the series, not flashpoint, there's one moment that I keep going back to is that Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul run out, right? Where really that Lord's test kind of, which India were in an impregnable position and then that run out happens. The series has given everyone a chance to sort of have a redemption arc, right? From KL Rahul, from that moment he comes back.
You are
and
saying
he bats really well to save
at
that test match.
impregnable position, seminal moment happened, is it?
You can't hold back, no? That is the problem. Cannot hold back. Yeah. Rishabh Pant also had that kind of a redemption moment, right? When he came out to bat in spite of being in like really injured and scoring that half century. Of course, it didn't amount for too much in the end, but still, it was good. And Siraj, right? Like this entire series, in fact, the lead up to the series, even in that first test, I think a lot of us were wondering what is up with Siraj because his pace was actually very low in that first test, right? And we also remembered there were times in Australia too where it was unsure what Siraj you're going to get. In fact, he had a lot of very average spells in Australia, right? And I think we were there in Melbourne on day one where he was really off. And it sort of cost the team big time. And to see him then kind of kick into gear through the series, then have that dropped catch, then come back and still get the 5 wickets and win the test match. Rahul had his redemption moment. Pant had his redemption moment. Siraj had his redemption. It was just a, very neatly, as they say, tied up with a bow. And just looked good in the end that everyone was able to sign off this series on the right note. And so it's 2-2 can feel like a win sometimes, can feel like a loss sometimes. Only one team is going to go away from here feeling like they actually are very happy with the way the series ended, right? And it was very well deserved for India.
Do you get extra points for WTC if you win a series rather than if you draw?
No. Okay, now you tell your favorite moment.
Oh, my favorite moment is Washi's innings because it woke my dad up from his stupor. He was sitting next to me, falling half asleep till then. And then Washi went bonkers and he's like, wow, this is a good game that we turned up to compared to that Lord's wannabe nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we know the
And-
code
and
now. So it's not you. We have to bring you and your dad to the game. Then we are fine. He annuls you out. Okay.
that sense,
so just to
Washi's 50. In that sense, Washi's 50 is the redemption moment for Gautam Gambhir. Because if this
Yeah,
series had ended
but
up
what did
3-1,
Washi's dad
everyone would-
say?
That in a different life, his wife could have been Lekha Washington.
Super.
But Washi's innings, the 10th wicket partnership was 30 odd runs, guys. This normally is the kind of thing that always happens to India. It never happens, not to India. First time
Exactly.
it has not happened to India. It happened to the other team. Yeah.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, let's wind up this series defining podcast episode with KL Rahul, who, when asked after the match, will you be celebrating long into the night? He's like, yeah, but also it's only the middle of the day. I think we will start celebrating now, but a couple of hours later, the exhaustion will catch up with us because it's been 25 days. So yeah, let us see. I think we will celebrate now for about 2 hours.
We will party all day till 1 p.m.
Till the tea break, scheduled tea break.
Yeah, till 1 p.m. we'll
Shake my hand.
Max, he also woke up at 6 a.m.
Shake my hand at this point. Enough.
It'll be amazing. They go to a local bar and KL Rahul will be the guy going to the bartender saying, cut us off at 1 p.m. No matter what any of these rascals say. Only till then we are allowed. After that,
This is a Wendy's. We only opened the bar at 4 p.m.
All right, that's it on episode 173 of Bits and Pieces, where India have rounded up a memorable series draw, which feels like a win, and have moved up to number 3 in the WTC standings. Onwards and upwards for GG, Shubman Gill, KL Rahul, Siraj, a lot of people, Pant, and us. Till next time, share, subscribe, and follow us wherever we are. Yeah, Nitin, you're itching to say that.
No, before we sign off, we should also point out that nobody today expected this result, right? Going into the day. We were still planning to record a podcast for which we came up with the perfect title, which was Tony.
What the?
Obits and pieces.
Obits and rest in pieces. Obits and rest in pieces, which would have been the last ever episode of Bits and Pieces. But we live to fight another day.
Yeah.
Just like
On that note,
Okay.
this
Chalos.
is Tony Bissy, PGK, Bro T, Nitin, Max, and Varun Murli signing off. Say bye, guys.
Observer.
Bye.
Bye.